Well, I just happen to remember that we used to go to Nunley's on F Street.
What was that, a grocery store or what?
No, it was a ice cream parlor, it was called. And for a nickel, we'd get a Coca-Cola and we'd put an aspirin in it because we wanted to get drunk.
An aspirin in it? That sounds strange.
Put an aspirin in the Coca-Cola to get drunk. We had this black woman that worked for us, and she was the dearest, sweetest person anybody could ever want.
She was like a maid or something?
She did our washing for us. She remembered bringing the bench in the kitchen and putting the tubs up. She had 3 tubs. One was for washing, one was for rinsing, the other was for starching.
This is when they'd wash it on the
washboard? Yeah, right. Sweet, dear little old lady. And it was Matilda's family that lived behind us that I used to associate with her nieces and nephews and play up in the barn.
Well, speaking of washboard, so this is before electric appliances and stuff. Do you remember?
We didn't have electricity. Yes, we did have electricity. Because we had electric lights on 8th Street with my Aunt Ada. We had electricity then. We had gas with my grandmother on Bates Street. And I remember then the old Lamplighter song.
What's that?
Of long, long ago. Old lamplighter of long, long ago. We had a lamppost in front of our house on Bates Street, and the little Italian man would come around with his bucket and brush, because we had gas lamps, and he had to come around at nighttime to turn the gas to light the lamps.
Right, the street lights.
And he had this big globe that he'd take the globe down and wash it and put it back up and then light the lamps.
That's what he did. Every night.
Uh-huh.
And in your house, you had gas lights on the walls?
Yeah, we had gas on Bates Street. I don't remember any electricity, but I do remember the gas lamps. The lamps would light that shelf that would stick there from the wall.
Right.
With the light on it.
You turn the knob and the gas would come on. You'd put a match to it. So.
Right. Had to use matches to light the gas.
And I imagine your first refrigerator it had a big ice block in it or something?
It was an ice box, honey, and then we had a big old wood stove in our kitchen in the apartment.
You'd have to just put wood in it to get the fire going?
The only hot water we had was they had a bin on one side that put water in to heat the water for taking baths at night.
Wow. You guys would share the hot water because
right,
it was precious.
And we had chains on the toilet to fold to flush the toilet.
Interesting.
There was a big flush box at the top of the ceiling.
I've seen pictures of those.
And the long chain on it to flush the toilet.
Well, things have changed, haven't they?
Oh gosh, it's really, it was just, it was wonderful. I had beautiful people to help raise the 3 of us. My grandmother and my 2 aunts, my Aunt Ada and my Aunt Alice. God love them. And Aunt Bessie used to work at Landsberg's, and she was buyer for the glove department. She always had gloves for us at Easter time.
Oh yeah. Now, Granddaddy never went to World War II as a soldier.
No, and because I had Georgiana to begin with in 1937, and I was pregnant with your mother. So he was called, but because of having children, why he was eliminated. He was not called back
eligible.
Again. That eliminated him from going into war. Then he decided he was going to be he was going to go into private practice. We went into private practice in 1950, I think it was, with Johnny Pamananda in Falls Church at Broad Street and Route 7. We had an office over top of a drugstore.
Right on the corner, right at that intersection.
And we had Van Meter and Bloxton, Pamananda and Meyer. We had a whole suite of rooms over the drugstore, right there, Broad Street and right 7. And from there we moved down the street over a real estate office with just Johnny Pamananda and Dad and your granddaddy. And I was working for him part-time.
What did you do there?
Doing secretarial work. I was taking shorthand.
Would you answer the phones and work the front desk?
And I was a receptionist. When your mother and Georgiana were in school, elementary, I went to work. I'd go to work around 10 o'clock in the morning and come back before school would let out.
Who was watching Courtney?
He was in school also.
Mm-hmm.
He must have been 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd get home before the kids would come home from school. And then I went to work in the real estate office. I sold real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Granddaddy brought me down here to Richmond to pass the real estate board.
Really?
And then I became a notary public. Went up to Fairfax County and got my permit to become a notary, because you always needed a notary in the law office.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the secretarial work, and I just enjoyed it so much. I just loved doing what I was doing. And now, it's just going back so far. So it's 1950. Yeah, 1950. But anyhow, he did a lot of general practice is what he did.
Was he happy with his profession? Did he like doing what he did?
I think he did it because of economics more than anything else. And it was the only thing that he could do and be as happy as he could be in doing what he was doing. I don't think he ever had any... He was a frustrated musician to begin with. That was his real calling, but he couldn't afford to do it because he would have to go on the road.
Right. With a family of 3.
And he didn't want to do it because of the family.
Mm-hmm.
He was associated with a lot of the boys that played with Paul Whiteman, played with Fred Waring. And when we'd go to New York, we always met up with the fellows that were there playing in New York.
Waring.
And so he knew a lot of professional people.
Arthur Godfrey, wasn't he in Arthur Godfrey?
Arthur Godfrey was also associated.
He was not only associated, he played in Arthur Godfrey's band.
Right.
On trumpet?
On the radio.
So he would actually be in the band that would be recording live on the radio.
Right.
And he was on trumpet, or was it piano?
Piano.
So he was mainly piano.
Yeah, piano. So he played in cocktail lounge at the Bullet Hotel, Bamboo Room. And he'd work odd jobs. They'd have people that would promote band playing for embassies. He's played at the White House.
Granddaddy played at the White House.
He's played for a lot of he did a lot of embassy work. He did a lot of people that had a lot of money. McLean, remember the old lady that had the Hope Diamond?
Yeah.
And he played a lot of society work.
So I wanted to ask you about famous people you guys may have known, or do you have any stories of famous people you've met over the years, and with or without Granddaddy?
Well, I met Paul Whiteman and I met Fred Waring, and just acquaintances that just met them. I wasn't a friend or anything.
Mm-hmm.
The only real person that I remembered vividly was Goldie Hawn.
Right.
When she was a little girl at the time and was taking dancing lessons. Her mother was secretary for this woman who was giving dancing lessons, and so Goldie would get dancing lessons for free because her mother was the secretary.
But you guys were close to the Hawn family, and
Oh, we were very, Laura and Rutt and your Granddaddy and I were very, very close. Because Granddaddy and Rutt used to live together. They roomed together.
Goldie Hawn's father.
Goldie Hawn's father, they used to live together.
Were they musicians together?
Yeah, Rutt used to play the violin, beautiful violin.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived with them for a while, and we were very, very close. Patty, when we were
Her older sister.
Yeah, Goldie's older sister. We lived on some street off of Georgia Avenue, and Laura and Rutt lived on 13th Street, and Laura would put Patty in the taxi cab when the maid wouldn't come, and send her to me, and I'd babysit for Patty because the maid wasn't there.
Huh.
And this is crazy. This is real crazy. Because Laura was working in the government at that time, and when the maid wouldn't come, she'd put Patty in a cab and call me. Patty's on the way.
And you babysit her.
And that was before Goldie was born.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, it's just, she used to, when Patty was born, she had no hair. And she buy imitation curls and sew them around the inside of a cap, a little bonnet, and put it on Patty's head so she had curls on her head.
just don't take the hat off.
Gosh almighty. Things that did happen.
Yeah. So,
good fun.
Tell me about your house in Arlington, where Mom grew up.
We moved in there when old man, forget his name now, had the lot next door to our house, and I wanted Granddaddy to buy it because he had the old man that we bought the house from had a chicken house there, and he had chickens in it. And I didn't want to be fooled with chicken. I never knew a chicken wasn't defeathered. And every Saturday night, after we bought the house, we bought the chickens. And every Saturday night, Granddaddy would bring a chicken net and put it in the wash tub downstairs in the basement for me to defeather.
You'd have to defeather the chickens?
I thought I'd never like another piece of chicken in my whole life, because every Saturday night I had to defeather a chicken.
Why didn't you just go down to the store and buy a chicken?
Because we had all these chickens in the yard next door to us. We had to get rid of them. Granddaddy still didn't buy that lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it belonged to the old man, so he decided that we'd take care of it. So we took care of the chickens. Kill them all.
What, did you just chop their heads off with an axe or something? Or with a club?
No, he'd just take them and wring their necks.
Oh, you do it by hand.
Right. Just wring their necks and then throw it in the we had big wash tubs, stationary wash tubs downstairs in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And Granddaddy would throw them in, but put a basket over the top so they wouldn't flop around.
Well, Mom has taken me by that house. It was a two-story brick house.
831.
Yep, it's still there.
831 25th Street.
Mm-hmm.